Please go ahead and start with questions. That's easy enough.
What's it, 200, I mean, just talk about getting.
I mean, I've never been one to get all worked up about the first one, the 100 to 200. Sure, I mean, it's great because the other option is if you're losing, you get fired. So the more you win, the better it is for job security. So I'm a big fan of that. I think it looks at you look at the players. The players are the ones who bought in. I mean, I'm intense when I'm out there coaching. I get on them. We work too hard to settle for mediocrity, and I'm not going to do it. And that's my job here, is to try to get the best out of every single one of them. And sometimes you can just say, hey, go hard, they go hard. Other times it takes a little more. So whatever it takes for me to get each individual player to reach their full potential is what I'm going to do. Because they all know, too, once the game's over, once we're done with practice, we have a good time. I'll cut up with them, I'll laugh with them, I joke with them. What happens at basketball and during the game stays here. I don't hold grudges, and I never have. And I think that's why we've had success here. Because there's no mind games being played with our players. They know why they're playing, they know why they're not, and if they're not, they know what they have to do to play. So it makes things real simple for them. And being able to do that, I think, allows them to have more confidence when they're out there on the floor. And I think that's a big reason why we've had the success here that we've had.
Gino's become the benchmark, and you reached this milestone 9 games sooner than he did. Is that, that's got to make you proud, and something a little brag to you too about.
Well, he's got probably about 700 more, and he's got 9 national championships. So once I get to that, then I'll start to brag some. But at this point in time, I'm fortunate to have had great players that have come through here. I took over a program that was a good program. Tom Collin, and you go down the line to Martin and to Bud, all of them, they had success here. It's not like I took over a program that, had won 3 or 4 games. I was fortunate enough to inherit Angel McCautry, and then Candace Bingham. And then, we did some things that others might not have done with a few players and put them in some positions that we thought they could be successful. I don't think anybody, if you recall back to year 2, thought Des Bird would be a point guard. And she bought into doing it, and she takes us to a Final Four. And I know Angel was as special as she was in Candace, but Des was a big part of that. So, we've been really fortunate here, and I've got a great staff to have had players that have bought into doing what we've asked them to do.
What did you think of the video?
I thought it was really nice. That takes a lot of work, and I surely appreciate it. Our marketing people did a great job, and I'm sure Ira was involved with that. And just, really appreciate the time that they put into that.
You seemed to get a big kick out of when they showed your opening press conference.
I was afraid they were going to show about 3 minutes of it, just me stuttering. That was bad. For those that were here, it was bad. I can remember Jim Couch, Jim texted me this morning, and I can remember talking with Jim about a year or 2 after that. And he's like, I'll be honest with you, I was sitting next to Matt, and you're up there talking, and I looked at Matt and be like, what in the world, who they just hired? And Matt will tell you today, they were filling in on the radio that next day, and they called, and I was on it, and we got to the first commercial, and Matt's like, I told Jim we got to cut him off. So, I was worried that they were going to show a little bit too much of that, but it's been a great 8 years, and I plan to be here for a long time.
Coach, with a minute left in the game, you're up 20 points, you're still coaching. Just how long are you going to actually let yourself enjoy this milestone?
Well, I'll sleep on it tonight, and then tomorrow we'll start preparing for Duke. It's, that's what keeps you in this profession. If you celebrate your wins too long, you start to lose more. So we just keep working, and that's my job to coach. It's why I tell the kids, I don't care if I put you out there for a minute at the end. I'm going to coach you like I coach the rest of them, because that's only fair to them. So that's the area that I'm trying to get all of our kids to understand. I don't care if you get 2 minutes on the floor or 25 minutes on the floor. Make the most of it and use it as a learning experience.
Talk about the second half, and one of the better halves.
Second half was great. I mean, and part of it is we made some shots. You know, we came out of the half, we had a play at half, we drew up, and I said, Mariah, you're going to make this three. You know, and she stepped up and knocked it down, and I just felt everybody take a big sigh. It's like, okay, the ball does go in. And then we had some great defensive stops, and we scored in transition. Sarah, I thought, played really well in the second half. She played more aggressive. And you take out the last 3 minutes where I think we gave them, well, we didn't give them, they made some shots on us, and we broke down and fouled. We did a great job of defending them for about 16 minutes of that second half.
Jeff,
About 5 minutes into the second half, they had a little conference out there in midcourt between you and Q and the referees. What was going on?
Well, I'm just learning more about this game. It wasn't an intentional backhand, but I mean, the girl slapped Sarah in the face, and they told me that, you know, it's got to be an elbow or a closed fist. So I was like, okay, so now I know I can slap you with an open hand, but I just can't ball it up. You know, but the officials are great. What I admire about officials, like today, I was very impressed because he said, you know what, we missed an offensive foul, but it's not a flagrant one. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, it's when you get into the point, they're like, it wasn't a foul. You know, you calling a timeout, you didn't need to. It's okay to miss a call. I mean, we screw up as coaches. So, you know, I admired that part, and then the game went on, and Q and I just had a little laugh about it.
For a team that doesn't shoot very well from outside, is passing key, ball movement key for this team?
Yeah, it has to be. We can't just come down the floor, make one pass, and shoot a three. We could do that the past 2 years because we had kids that were shooting 40+ from the three-point line. Now we have to make the extra pass because what we did a really nice job of in the second half was we missed some threes, but we got some offensive boards from it because we reversed the basketball and got the defense shifting. You know, that's why we end up being so much more successful. You know, you make 31 field goals and you've got 26 assists. There's not much one-on-one being played. And I'm willing to bet you two or three of those 5 that we didn't assist on were transition where we got a steal.
Jeff, Maisha said that you showed the team some clips of the Spurs before the season. The way you're talking right now, the way they're moving the ball, how close are they to kind of that ideal? Is this maybe the best passing team you've had?
Well, it's by far the best passing team that we've had. You know, I'm really, really proud of how well we are sharing the basketball. I think tonight you saw some kids that had some good shots, make passes to players that had great shots. And that's what you've got to get to. And then there's still times where we're trying to teach them, you know, don't pass up a 4-footer to try to get a 2-footer. You know, that's a great shot. So, and that takes time. It takes showing them film and breaking things down. But, yeah, I was really, really proud of all of them. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.